CK Effect. Thank you for tuning in and for following and listening. Today's episode of the CK Effect is not just a conversation, it's a tribute, a deeply personal one. This is for my little brother Robin, who we lost to suicide at the age of 21 years of age. As much as this episode is about remembering Robin, the brother, the friend, the bright soul, I also want to talk about what happens to those left behind, the pain, the questions, the journey through grief. Before I share more, I want to remind everyone listening, this is my story, my experience. Please, if anything here feels close to home or too heavy, or if you're navigating something similar, always seek help from a professional. Everyone's healing is different, and you deserve the support that works for you. But firstly, I want to give people insight into Robin and who Robin is and what he was all about and what he brought to everybody in his life. And I think the best way to explain it is about the eulogy that I wrote for his funeral. So I'm going to read the eulogy that I wrote for his funeral. So I hope that you get to understand who he is and what he was about as a person. So here we go. I really didn't know how or what to say today. There are so many things that I would like to say, but the hardest thing is expressing it. What I do know is that I don't want to talk about Robin or Robbie, as he's known to his friends, in the past tense, because to me, he's still my little brother and will be my heart forever. Robin and I called each other when we were on our way home from work, or even just driving somewhere. Never for any particular reason, just for some mindless chat. But it made the trip go quicker wherever we were going. It didn't matter whether we talked about work, the weekend ahead, or just about how the cars on the road were annoying us. As we always said, we were the best drivers out there. For Robin, career-wise, he had many jobs. Always looked for more opportunities within work, and they all varied. From working at fashion stores like Supre, finance companies, real estate, and the photography studio. I don't think photography worked out too well for him, as he spent more time taking photos of himself than anything else. His latest venture was to join the Australian Defence Force. We received a call on the Friday after he passed from the Navy, confirming his appointment. I think this was an opportunity for Robin to go out there and do what he loves most. Experiencing new things, traveling, helping people, meeting people, and enjoying life. I remember talking to Robin when he was working at one of the factory outlet stores. He always told me about the different designer labels and brands of clothing that he saw and that he thought may look good on me. He would try and convince me to come and try them on. I'm sure he worked on a target system or maybe a commission basis and tried to make me spend money. I never thought my little brother would give me fashion advice. But then again, he himself was always dressed to perfection. Everything had to match. And if it didn't, he wouldn't be going anyway. He had a massive social calendar, and I don't think that will change. He's probably socializing as I speak. Not a weekend went by, or should I say a day, where he wasn't visiting someone or hitting the clubs. He actually made me look like an 80-year-old woman with no friends. Robin was always an entertainer, the life of the party, and always went out in style. He celebrated his 21st birthday that year in May, and in true Robin style, everyone was told to wear black and white. He also picked what food had to be served, as he wanted everything perfect. To finish our night off, but to get his started, he hired a room in the city and a white stretch Hummer to get him and his friends there so they could party the night away. It was great that he spent the night in the city. That way he didn't have to climb in through the toilet window again. I almost thought he never had a key, as he used to use the toilet window more than the front door. I look back at the times when we settled in Australia. New school, new friends. Robin didn't believe in the common way of making friends and letting people know who he is. He thought the best way to do this was by setting his classroom on fire. Not too sure what happened exactly, but I can remember Dustin and I thinking, oh no, Robin is in trouble again. But no one forgot who he was after that. Looking back and remembering Robin's childhood and the mischievous smile he had, we could always tell straight away he was up to something. Robin has a way about him when he wants something. His favourite lines include, hey mum, or I love you mum, or dad, you know I'm your favourite son, or he would say to Dustin, you know I'm your favourite brother. And then he would come up with whatever he needed to ask. It was very cheesy and obvious. yet extremely effective as he got his way. Hence why Dust and I always say Robin is the favourite child. Robin's personality and smile is what makes him the likeable and lovable person that he is. You would rarely forget Robin on a bad day. His friends are a very large part of who Robin is, and he has been there for each and every one of them. He brings so much joy and happiness to each and every one he meets. Robin never judges anyone. He accepts them for who they are, and it shows by the numerous friends that he has and the diversity of them all. We put together a tribute to show some of you what he was all about and what we've spoken about. His smile, his relationships with family and friends, his mischievous behavior, the entertainer, and the kind-hearted and lovable person he is. Robin, you cannot believe how much we are going to miss you. You will always be in our hearts and will treasure every minute of every day that we have spent with you. You are a great brother, son and friend, and we hope that you have found peace within yourself. We love you to the moon and back, always and forever. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for listening to that eulogy. It wasn't easy reading through it again and trying to hold back the tears, but it's a good way of me remembering my brother. When Robin passed away, I truly didn't know how to cope. I felt like someone had ripped my heart out and shattered my entire world. It was the most unbearable pain I have ever felt, and I didn't know where to go with it. I used to go to the doctor so much because I thought there was something physically wrong with me. Until one day he said to me, I think it's time you speak to somebody. That's why I reached out to a clinical psychologist, because I was lost, because I didn't understand what to do with the overwhelming grief, the questions, the guilt, the anger, and the heartbreak. And I want to say this clearly. Seeking help saved me from falling deeper into the darkness. Therapy gave me the space to feel, to speak, to breathe. It didn't take the pain away, but it helped me carry it. This is how professionals see grief. We think people are fine once the funeral is over, but the reality is the storm often starts after. The silence after everyone's gone home, the day-to-day reminders that they're no longer there, the unanswered texts, the quiet house, the birthdays and holidays. I now understand that Robin's pain might have been so deep, so dark, that in that moment he thought this was the only way out. He couldn't see that there were other options. He couldn't see how much we loved him, how much we would have done to help him. Even now, nearly 15 years later, I still have moments where I sit back and wonder what if. That never fully goes away. But what changes is how we live with the grief and how we let the love carry us forward. And I truly believe he's still around. The signs are there, I see them, feel them. In little moments, I know he's watching, and I know he's proud. If you've made it this far, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Not just to Robin's story, but to mine. Grief is never easy. It's messy, it's lonely, and it's raw. But you are never truly alone. There are people who can help. There is hope, even on the darkest days. And if someone you know is struggling, don't wait. Ask the question, reach out, show up, because sometimes your voice might be the one thing that keeps him here today. I'm Celeste, and this has been the CK Effect. And I thank you for listening once again. I know it's not an easy topic to listen to, but as I've said before, the CK Effect is about real, raw conversations and my personal journey. Until next time, please take care of yourself and each other.